All right, so a couple days ago, I talked about a Pfizer document. It was Pfizer Documents Part 1, I think I labeled it. And so if you watch that one, this is sort of just a follow-up. I will be showing a screenshot of what I'm talking about at the end of the video. TikTok only allows me to do 3 seconds for the thing, so you might want to click it so you can kind of get an idea what I'm talking about. So a couple things I want to talk about in there is, one, the S1 binding is the spike protein levels in the system and in your blood and all that stuff. All of these are serology tests, so it actually shows how much of the vaccine is in there. Anyone who has all the way up to 6 months, it can be said that they did not get COVID throughout that time, and because that would sort of muddle the results that they're looking for. This is the efficacy of the vaccine, and I'm going to get into it. So essentially, if you take a look at it, so you got pre-vax, right? So that is the serology test taken before, and they essentially use that as a ground zero, like a control test for each individual person. So for everyone, it came up as 10 or BLQ. And so essentially, anyone who had the placebo had 10 or BLQ, except for one, and they had some numbers in there, but that was interesting. Anyways, so with the... with those, you can see that the numbers get higher and then they get much lower, right? The other thing you can see is that the numbers are not the same from person to person to person, right? There was quite a few more pages of this document. I'm just showing you a few, like a little screenshot of it. And essentially, the amount of spike proteins that people ended up having in their serology tests, you know, some of them were like 400, and then some of them were 900, some of them were in the thousands. There was actually a couple people that were in like the 2,000 or 3,000s. And then the next dose, they went up to like 15, 16, 17,000. And some people only went to like 1,800 and stuff like that. And then they, you know, on the third test there, the serology test, they went all the way down below or just above where the original one was. So this is just to show that essentially the information wasn't there, and it wasn't as accurate as they made it seem like it was, right? So them telling us that it's safe and effective and it's 95%, because this is during Delta, remember? Actually, it was before Delta, I think. Anyways, Delta Alpha. So it was, you know, but everything was just so varying. But they were telling us that it was pretty accurate, right? Even though the numbers that I'm seeing aren't saying that. Now, if you take a look on the left-hand side, it'll say pre-vax, first dose 21 days, second dose 1 month, and then it'll say 6 months later kind of thing. So the pre-vax, they take the serology test, they give the person the vaccination that day. 21 days later, they take the test, the next serology test, so that's what that is, at first dose. And then at the 1 month mark, and then on the second... the serology test after the first dose, that's when they got their second dose. And then 9 days later, they did another serology test to show how, you know, it improved. And then 6 months later after that. And 6 months later on a lot of these people was January. And that's well after that vaccine had rolled out. So when I'm talking about we didn't have all the facts when the vaccine rolled out, that's what I'm talking about. For one, it was varied so much, and it was also on a strain that ended up being sort of moot in the end. And it was also, a variant that was moot in the end. And also, you know, the 6 month data, stuff that we should have known before rollout, what didn't come in until after. Now, this document, like I said, was dated in April 1st of 2021. So that means that they would have gotten all the information in January. They would have, you know, done all of their stuff that they had to do with it. Then they put all the information together for release probably in April. So that means our health officials didn't know anything until at least April of how the vaccine actually worked and stuff like that. So this is just something I wanted to get out to you guys. And yeah, so here's the screenshot. Pause, because like I said, it's only 3 seconds, and you can take a look at it to kind of see what I'm talking about. If I got this wrong, because I'm not a scientist, please leave me a comment if you are a scientist, and maybe you can explain a little bit better. Maybe make a video and tag me in it so I can understand a little bit better. But from my understanding and my research, I think I got it pretty bang on. Anyways.